Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to review the last modern war issue entitled Axis of Evil: Conflict in the Persian Gulf. The picture on the cover is about a modern Iranian tank called Striker. As usual, the first 4 pages are dedicated to advertise the game produced by the Decision Games, and I keep thinking that the best products are the games belonging to the so-called Folio series. This issue includes 4 main articles. The main one is the Axis of Evil: Conflict in the Persian Gulf, written by Joseph Miranda, and it's about the possibility of a new conflict in the Persian Gulf. At the page 20 you find an article by Taibumba citing, well, I'm using the Italian pronunciation, Machiavelli, deals with North and South Korea and the preventive and preemptive war. The third main article is about Che Guevara and his guerrilla warfare. Last but not least, you find an analysis of a possible conflict between India and China on the Tibetan plateau. The departments and the columns close the contents of this magazine. The article Axis of Evil is really rich of interesting information. You can see many rare images and also beautiful maps, for example the Iran's corridor to the Mediterranean, but also a map about the Iranian military base. I highlight mainly the Iranian inventory, in which you find the features about the tanks and the other units that the Iranian army could deploy. This picture portrays an old F-14 Tomcat. This American plane was purchased before, obviously, the Iranian Revolution. At the moment, there are 44 Tomcat planes left in Iran. Other maps, Persian Gulf missile threat. Well, you notice that the Persian Gulf divides Iran and Saudi Arabia, and there are many missiles that could strike the Saudi Arabian coasts. All in all, Miranda closes his article by underlining the US military power, especially obviously the Fifth Fleet. And there is also speculation about the possibility of an intervention of the Israeli Defense Forces, the so-called IDF. Anyway, the Fifth Fleet, I repeat, guarantees the Arabian or the Saudi positions. The 2 central pages are dedicated to the attached war game entitled Axis of Evil: Iran. Well, this war game that I'm going to introduce and analyze in the following video is an operational strategic level 2-player war game that covers a struggle between a coalition led by Russia that is opposed to an alliance of Iran, Syria, and other minor allies. Actually, this war game is based on a previous game that the players could find in the Modern War number 29, and I think that it's really interesting the use of a rule, the use of action points that the players have to use when they want to conduct the operation, the military operations. The second article is about North and South Korea. Tai Bomba, the article is written by Tai Bomba, and the designer underlines or starts his analysis starting from the famous Italian historian and philosopher Niccolo, I repeated the Italian pronunciation, Machiavelli. Well, you have the CH Machiavelli, but the Italian pronunciation is Machiavelli. And Tai Bomba, well, underlines the difference between preemptive and preventive war, about what should the United States, together with South Korea, to defeat North Korea. Should they conduct a preemptive war or a preventive war? Well, actually, Tai Bomba's conclusion are it is neither preventive nor preemptive, but instead calls for a prompt response to any North Korean attack. So Tai Bomba excludes these two kinds of wars, and he highlights the importance of having a prompt response to any North Korean attack. Very, very interesting, this map about the artillery threat to South Korea. If you notice, all the northern part of South Korea is under the menace of the North Korean artillery. In this area we find many rockets, launchers, and powerful guns that can destroy the several military bases located in this area south of the 39th parallel. Another map about North Korean commands, the North Korean nuclear sites. Well, there are few by considering this map. Well, obviously it's not a sort of precise map about the North Korean nuclear sites, but we can get a sort of approximate idea about the locations of the nuclear sites in North Korea. On the contrary, these order of battle 2 pages are really interesting, and we find the comparison by category of the North Korean army opposed to the South Korean one. Another page of advertisement. Well, the Third World War, Che Guevara's tricontinental strategy. Actually, Che Guevara wanted to export his way to fight his guerrilla warfare, and the writer Alfred Delgado, well, remembers the writings, Che Guevara's writings about the subject, guerrilla warfare, a method and message to the tricontinental. So the importance that Che Guevara attributed to the guerrilla warfare when few men are opposed to a well-organized army. Other pictures about the Cuban Revolution, the portrait of the iconic Che Guevara image, and Che Guevara walking through the streets of Havana, and well, a map about the military operation of Che Guevara in the Congo country, the Bolivian insurrection, and the final military operations in which Che Guevara found death. The last main article is about a military confrontation between China and India. The border threat, very, very interesting. You find the locations of the Indian army opposed to these Chinese and brigade Chinese military units. Some rare images about Chinese soldiers located in the Tibetan area of China, the Chinese nukes in Tibet, and well, this map is very, very interesting. Is a sort of map about the complete view of the Chinese and Indian air and naval bases. Very, very interesting, and the players could get a lot of military information by reading carefully this map. A long series of sources that the author dealt with. Other 2 pages of advertising. Well, in one of the following Modern War issues, the players will find the 6th Fleet. Well, obviously, 6th Fleet is set in the Mediterranean Sea. Back issues available, Soyuz 81. Well, I shot a video about this topic. Other minor article, Russian nuclear war, then and now. Well, obviously, since we can consider a little weak the current Russian army, well, now there is the menace of the use of tactical nuclear weapons to fill the gap between this weakness and the possibility to attack the NATO units. In fact, well, readiness to employ tactical nuclear weapons can be demonstrated by methods such as the simulation of a nuclear attack. Well, the article is written. The very, very good article is written by the retired Colonel Gilberto Villahermosa. He is a graduate of the United States Military Academy and a veteran of the global war on terror. Other minor articles, all eyes on Idlib, a region in Syria that is the next target of Assad and his army. Seychelles affair. Frankly, I didn't read this article, but well, probably the comic opera coup. Well, I have to read that. I'm not so interested in this topic. The World War number 63. 4 pages dedicated to the disaster on April 10th, 1963, dedicated to the disaster of the submarine, of the American submarine USS Thrashers. And at the moment, the record Thrashers was located by Dr. Robert Ballard in 1985 at a depth of 8,400 feet. 3 pages about the flying gunship, the Wings of Death, AC-130E gunships in Vietnam. Well, and you find some details. And, well, media review, and advertisements about the last game designed by Nofi, Imperio Romanum, a remake of the previous game, well done game Imperio Romanum. And, well, the magazine closes with some advertisements about solitaire games that you can find in other Modern War issues. Well, guys, that's all. And stay tuned for the coming soon video about the attached game Axis of Evil Iran. Thank you for your attention and bye.